welcome back to the Survivor Girl podcast, everybody. Happy Survivor Girl Sunday. Thriving survivors, I'm so glad that you're here to join me tonight. Last week we had an incredible show. I want to get into that, talk a little bit about that. Hopefully, you guys will check it out if you haven't already. Also, before we get started, I'm going to do the disclaimer. I'm not able to treat, prescribe, or also give any prescriptions, anything like that. I'm just here to talk about the stories that I've gone through along with my guests and everybody who joins me usually, just to help inspire and uplift people. So I'm hoping that we're able to do that tonight. I'm so thankful that we have all the listeners that we do and that all of you share and like and subscribe. And especially, I love getting the inbox messages of people being thankful for the show. That really makes me happy, makes my soul happy, and it lets me know that I am on the right track with everything. So thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, last week we had a really awesome show. It was the 4th of July. We celebrated Crystal LaFay's 4th birthday with us, or not 4th birthday, 4th of July birthday, along with her son Milo, which was really cool. They were able to be in studio. We had the 4th of July party going on here. There was a lot of people here to hang out. So it was very interesting. Lots of energy, all kinds of stuff happening. But we were able to still do the show, and it was a very eye-opening show. She talked a lot about the stuff that she's gone through, she's thrived and survived through. And I got messages of people telling me that they needed to hear that show, and it got shared quite a bit. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Crystal, and everybody else who listened in. If you guys get a chance to go check that out, it is archived on YouTube, still on Twitch, I believe, and also gets re-aired on solidstateradio.net over at the Lyric Mall in Lapeer. So we thank you guys for that, Sean and Adam. We appreciate you taking the time to put up this show, and also Don't Make This Weird, and This Is My Brain podcast, Tuesday Night Rants. And I don't know if they do Guitar Fridays or Chill Stream Saturdays. I'm not really sure, but Tony's shaking his head over there. No. So, but we're thankful that they do that for us. So thank you, Sean and Adam. Eventually, they're going to be getting on the other podcasts that I'm on. Don't Make This Weird. So I'm excited about that. Lots of cool stuff happening. Heading down to Tennessee coming up for the kayak bass fishing tournament number 2 for us. Very cool. Another cool adventure. We went to Alabama, and that was quite interesting. Talked about kayaking and fishing with the gators. That was a bit rough. I'm glad to be back in Michigan waters, and from what I understand, the demographic of where we're going to be, that there isn't any gators down there, but I'm not 100%. We're calling the DNR to make sure. I want to know what we're going to be dealing with down there. So we'll be doing Lake Pickwick, I believe. So I'm excited. As far as I know right now, there might be 3 of us women that are competing again. I'm not sure. Hopefully there's more. I've heard that this is starting to be a bigger thing. A lot more people are becoming anglers and getting in on the kayak stuff. So that's kind of cool. So I'm learning a whole bunch about that, and a lot of studying to get ready for it, because you learn what kind of baits and what kind of water, everything that you might face and whatnot. So I'm pretty excited to be able to do that again. So I'll hopefully be able to post a little bit about that. I leave the day after my birthday, so that's coming up too. 41. Some people might freak out about that. I'm actually excited to be leveling up. I had a post about it on my own personal Facebook page, and it's a very a great celebration for me, honestly. Any of you that have tuned in before, you know that I've went through quite a bit with cancer and different other things, and that will be August 19th. I will be 7 years cancer free, so I'm looking forward to celebrate that date as well. That's another birthday, kind of, in a way. It's been a really cool journey. Lots of things have happened. I try to look at the silver linings of all of that. I look back to 7 years and where I was at that point in time and where I'm at now, and it's such a difference. It's a huge difference. And I honestly don't even recognize myself anymore when we talk about the timing and how much time has gone by in 7 years. So if you feel right now that you're stuck or you're going through something that's quite difficult, just remember, in that time frame, even 5 years, even a year, I mean, a little bit of time that goes by, things change. So just keep that in mind, that if you give yourself some time, that things can change and become better. I've seen a huge change in all the stuff that's happened since then. Life is just, it's been crazy. It's been very cool though. Like I said before, we were talking about working on the other podcast. We're coming up on 200 episodes. On the 29th, we're going to do it because I'll be down at Lake Pickwick, and it would just be kind of hard to fly back and go back. My mind would be on the competition when I'm here, and my mind will be on the show while I'm there. So I'm thankful that we're able to kind of postpone it and do that because I want to be here in my, in presence and be able to celebrate that and enjoy it and then get down, be doing the competition and do a great job down there as well. It's cool. It's cool to be able to do that. I never would have thought 7 years ago that I'd be doing something like that. I will be honest, I'm quite afraid of water in a weird way. I guess not really afraid. I respect it. It's different. Before I started actually getting out there, and that was on my bucket list before the weight loss surgery to kayak. I really wanted to do that. I wanted to get out there. And I don't know why somebody that's afraid of water would want to do that other than to face fears. But that's kind of how I am in a weird way, just like unique way, I guess. I'm not allowed to use that word anymore. To get out there and just experience different things. So I was able to have the opportunity for one of my birthdays. Adam purchased me a kayak, which was purple, green, and teal, which is awesome. So I decided to get out there and try it and get out in the water. And ever since then, it's been very cool to be able to do that. And I kind of start going after different things now to experience as well. So with that being said, 7 years, it's crazy. That blows my mind just thinking about it. And it was a really hard couple first years. Well, probably about 4 years, I'd say, from that time to now, because someone posted something earlier about grieving and time frame and all that stuff. And it really bothered me when people would tell me, it's been this much time. You should be getting like nobody knows how long it takes somebody to grieve. And for me, that was healing. That was my healing. And when someone says that, they try to take that away from you. You can't do that to somebody. You have to allow them that healing time to feel it all, to get through it. Because if I wouldn't have been able to do that, I don't think I could be where I'm at right now. And I still struggle with some stuff. I was talking before the show. I talked with Tony a little bit earlier on the phone, and we talked about what the topic was going to be tonight. And at that point in time, I was thinking about body dysmorphia. I have dealt with that through my whole life until recently, though I didn't know that that's what the label was. So growing up with being overweight, and by my eighth grade being 208 pounds, by my senior year being 300 pounds, leaving high school at that, and then by the time before I went to have my surgery, I was up at 350, I think it was. And throughout my life, I've dealt with being afraid of what other people think about how I looked with my weight, my body. Instead of it being a health thing, though, it was always a bullying thing. It wasn't about, hey, how can I help you to lose weight? Or, what can I do? Let's go work out together. Or why don't we share a salad or something? Or, something like that, like positive. No, it was, oh, that dress isn't fitting like it used to. Or, as a kid, that's like, really? That sucks to hear those kinds of things. You don't know how to process that when you're a kid, or to be young and have your doctor tell you that you need to be on a diet at such a young age. Like, I didn't know how to process that. And back then, as a kid, we'd go hang out. I remember one time, I think I was like about 5 years old. And we're hanging out at someone's house. And I remember them having like cookies. And I said, I had to say, I can't have that cookie. I'm on a diet at 5. And then I'd go to move. And then I remember my parents would get me like the sweatsuits. So in school, what I would do is I would suck my stomach in second grade, like throughout the whole school day. I would suck my stomach in. So you would think like my abs would have been amazing at that age because I was constantly holding them in because I was afraid about what people were going to say about my own body, about me. And I still deal with that even now, even after my weight loss surgery. I still deal with those things. I come on here and I probably sound like I'm really super confident a lot of time. And for the most part, yes, I can be. I can be. But if we're going to get real, I've had a lot of things that have happened throughout my life that have I've held on to. And when you hold on to stuff, it's hard to heal further. It's hard to move forward. It's hard to let go of those kind of emotions and things. I mean, I don't really have so much of a hard time with emotions. I cry when I feel like I need to cry and I let it out and I don't care. How is that, you know? But for a lot of that though, I learned that eating food was how I dealt with it. You know, I started eating like crap at a young age. Um, my mom would leave some money while she was at work, and I'd go next door and just get ice cream because I was a kid and I thought that, hey, I can have whatever I want. Like, this is great. So I became addicted to sugar at a young age, like a really young age. Food has been my addiction throughout my whole life. And when you have that whole idea of body dysmorphia and stuff, it's not just about, you know, being thin or whatever or being overweight. It's going into a room and worrying about what someone's going to say. It's changing your outfit 50 million times so that it looks like it fits properly on your body that you have. It's praying like praying like hell, I guess, or heaven, whichever. Um, when you going to walk into a room, that someone's not going to be staring at the problem areas that you feel are a problem. And it's odd though because the people that do love you, I wouldn't say that they're trying to support that part of it because I know the people that I have in my life want me to continue to keep doing good, and they're not just sitting there poking at thinking about my weight or whatever. It's how can I help you? What can we do together? Can we go for a walk? Do you need that other Bigby? You got one. Do you need two of them? No, I'm just kidding. If anybody said that to me, they'd be like, okay, I'm unfriending because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but it comes down to our choices as well. One of the things that I was talking about before the show, even though I've had the weight loss success with the bariatric surgery, that was a huge thing to go to do. I had to lose weight beforehand. I had to get a psych evaluation. I had to do all kinds of things and hoops that I had to go through to be able to get it. And it's not a cheap surgery. Luckily, I was able to work with my insurance and everything like that. And I did awesome. Like, I kicked ass at this. And it made me feel good because I was finally able to lose the weight. I was able to do all of this stuff and live life. Trying on clothes after you lose that kind of weight, I never knew that it could be so cool. All of these clothes in this same size, like it was so hard to find clothes at my other weight. And it's funny because Tony, I came across a picture in my, I guess, memories. Google Photo loves to give you memories from however many years ago. So when we first started hanging out, we did a class together, and we learned how to make, was it wrap stones, I think. So there's a picture from the library, and I found it. Wow, I was right. I don't recognize who I was like. And I can see why I had that body dysmorphia back then. But when I look at her, the old me, I love her, and I think, wow, what were we holding on to? Why were we holding on to that weight for so long? I think for me it was mostly because of the addiction, for one. Um, and then as you get heavier, it's harder. It feels like it's harder to get out and do stuff and move. This is true. But a lot of that sounds like not getting up and moving sounds like an excuse for the most part. So what I would say is try moving a little bit to get your momentum going, to get to that point. You know, try little things. Don't rush. You can't do everything overnight. And I know everybody always says this. It didn't happen overnight. Like I heard that a lot. I heard that a lot. But when you don't know how to love yourself because you don't love your body, that's hard. That's a hard thing to face. So like I said, just learning what the technical term of that is. It goes from a wide spectrum though. It's not just about weight. There's all kinds of things that body dysmorphia is. But that was a part of it for me. And I I'm honest about therapy and going to therapy. So I talked to my therapist this week about that because now I'm facing it in a different way. It's different. When you have the weight loss surgery, I lost quite a bit, and the past year I've gained some back. Not all of it, thankfully. And I've talked about this on past shows. I'm honest about that. But I look at pictures now, but I don't feel as good as I was. I can tell the difference in that bit of weight that I've gained, and it's not horrible, but it's enough that I'm not happy about it. I've gone down that slippery slope again. I am addicted to sugar horribly again, and after everything that I've gone through for weight loss and the surgery and trying to get healthy, I feel like I would be totally dishonest if I didn't tell you guys that. That's where I'm at. I'm struggling. I'm being honest with you guys. It's hard. When I got the weight loss surgery, I can still hear the echo in my head from people saying that I'd gain all my weight back and then some. Isn't that kind? That's good words, right? That's very helpful. And that was from somebody else, like a couple people that knew people that had the surgery. One person actually had the surgery themselves, and it didn't work out for them. So anybody that tried to do it, they tried to get them to not do it because it didn't work for them. It worked for me. It worked for me. But with the weight loss surgery, you can't change this. There's no surgery for that part. So after the year that we've had, my friends, I think we all are kind of facing different things, different vices, different challenges. But we can do it. Like, we can get back on track. We can make the changes, and we can keep on moving forward because things are changing again. We're on the upswing, I feel. I think we're to that point where we can breathe again. We can start to figure out what our game plan is. What are we doing? What are we going to change? How do we achieve these goals again? How do we not give up? Even if the slightest day, like we fall off the wagon and have a pocket cookie. That's a long story. It's another addiction thing. But I'm learning, like, because I'm human too. I know, it's crazy, ain't it? But I'm learning this, I'm learning that this time around, and I've said this so many times, guys, this time around is going to be different. This time around, I'm going to do this time. So what is it? Like, if you dissect the whole thing, what are you doing that's the same thing that you've been doing from the past? Why is it happening again? And how do you reroute this whole thing so next time around, there isn't a next time around? How do you change this for life? Anybody that's listening right now, if you've gone through the weight loss surgery or if you've been successful of this time around being that time around and that's that, what can you give the listeners, myself, advice? Like, what's the difference? What can we do different? It's a lot of work. And it's crazy because throughout my life, because I've been overweight my whole life, I should have a PhD in this stuff. Like, I know all of this stuff. And I shouldn't say that because that sounds kind of cocky and that's not who I am. But I've learned so much. Like, I've researched and I've done so many different things that I've learned a lot throughout this journey. And to be here and to be gained weight and at a stall again, like to where I'm not gaining anything, but I'm not losing at the moment. It's kind of frustrating. It's a tad frustrating. I'm angry at myself. But guess what? I still love myself. I'm not completely angry at myself. I'm not breaking up with myself. I still really do love myself a lot. And that is a change from this time around. I can say that, I am proud of the accomplishments that I have had. And I know now I'm not the same as everybody else. Like, some people can just eat and not gain anything. I hate you guys. Just kidding. I don't hate anybody. But that's hard. Like, some people can eat and they do gain weight, but they just are like, you don't like it, don't look, or, whatever philosophy. And I'm not body shaming anybody because I've been at, like, almost everyone, every part of it. but I have a goal weight, and it's about 79 pounds away from my reach right now. And it was a lot closer. It was so much closer. But I'm at 79 away from where I want to be. And probably about 60, 69, 60 of that to where I can go in and get my weight or my skin removal surgery, because that's another thing that I'm dealing with. And that goes in with the body dysmorphia thing too. I feel like I look great in clothes, but then when I'm not not in clothes, I'm like, oh man, what's happening to my body? Like these changes, But it's a journey. It's still a journey. I'm still on this journey. And anybody who is back from where I was at the start, I feel for you guys. Like, I hope you don't give up. I hope you find out what works best for you, whether it's a trainer or doing chair exercises or going for walks or drinking more water, whatever little step it is. Because once you start doing like one step, it feels like you're ready for the next and then the next, and it just kind of falls into line, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I feel really you guys and not to give up. And I know you don't really know me personally. Some of you do. Some of you that listen do know me personally. And I have changed. Like I do love myself. And I think that is a difference this time, I fell into some bad habits. And anybody that's ever had an addiction, food addictions is different from a lot of other addictions, but it's not any less hard, it's still hard. Because food addiction is like, okay, I'm going to a party. What's there? All kinds of food. It's easy for me a little bit because of gluten. It's easy. So just everybody do me a favor next barbecue. Every favor next barbecue. Every favor. It's a horrible addiction, it is a horrible addiction. It's a horrible addiction, it is a horrible addiction. Because we think that I have it. Because we think that start eating food and stress, start eating food. Food doesn't stress. Get rid of it. Food doesn't stress. Pushing it. Get rid of it, and that's kind of where I've been. Pushing it. Get rid of it. So here I am again. Get rid of it. So here I am again. Heather and I absolutely love food. So here I am again. Heather and I absolutely love food. So there you go. I hate to say that, but I'm being honest with you. I hate to say that, but I'm being honest with you. But I'm being honest with you. I have, and I'm not going to give up on myself because I have kayak tournaments and other things that I want to do, and even other things that I want to do. Even at this rate, I'm still going for it. Like I'm not quitting. It's not like I've gained 1 million pounds. It's still not It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't. It's still not because it's my body. It's not anybody else. It's mine because it's my body. It doesn't make not anybody else. So what do I have to do to make myself happy? Move forward. Don't give up. Move forward. Don't give up. It's a different kind of. Don't give up. It's different from last time. It's in the aspect of I don't have. It's in that aspect 50 pounds on me right now, which is I'm thankful for. That's hard right now. And I've met other people that have had weight loss success by doing it on their own, and I am so happy by doing it on their own. And I am so happy by doing it on their own. That was a hard one for me to do it on my own. That was because of PCOS to do it on my whatnot. That makes it a lot harder because of PCOS and now I'm going through different adrenal gland stuff or thyroid, head gland stuff or thyroid. And I'm hearing that that's part of the thing that has played into it a little bit, but it doesn't help that I really love peanut butter cups and different bad foods that I don't need. But it happens. We're human, right? It is bad, But it happens. We're human, right? But it's hard when you have the philosophy when you see these things. It's hard when you have the philosophy when you see these things. Buy the cake. Go on that cruise. Go dancing. Go on that to eat the cake. Go dancing. I don't need to. Maybe I should just skip to the dancing. I don't need to. Maybe I should just skip to the dancing. It's not that I won't ever eat food that is bad, but once I get into that unhealthy habit of doing that's where I get in the rut. And if you've ever had any issue like that, you understand. And if you haven't had any issue like that, you understand. If you haven't, it is a hard thing to face. And to be honest, that's the first step, right? Being honest with it, and that's why I'm not using this honest with my soapbox style, but I'm also being honest with it. I struggle. I'm struggling with it. That's where I'm at this week. So I hope that whatever it is that you're facing currently, or if I hope that whatever it is that you're facing, it does help to have the therapy. It does help to have support group. It does help to actually be honest and just say, like telling you guys, telling Dawn and Tony, telling you guys, telling Adam and Tony. It helps to be honest. And I'm not asking anybody to help me be accountable. But it just felt good to finally get it off my chest and be like this. But it just felt good to finally get it off my chest. And I appreciate the support. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Keep moving forward and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Keep on cruising. Keep on doing that stuff. And it's hard. Keep on doing that stuff. It has been hard. It's hard. It had changed that. Like I'm not trying. I'm doing. It's not hard. I'm not trying. I'm doing. Making it work. You know, it's all that too. Like in your head. You know, it's all that that we like in your head. We talked about that earlier. This is a good segue actually. So this is a good segue actually. I've talked about this in the past on other shows. But I feel like I need to bring it back up because of what I just told you guys. But I feel like I need to bring it back up because of what I just told you. How we're hard on ourselves, you know. There's a point, like, okay, I'm being accountable with having. There's a point, like, okay, I'm being accountable with. I'm being accountable there. I'm being honest. I don't. It would be different if I was like, well, I don't. It would be different if I was down talking myself, being really rude about it, and down talking. Oh, I can't stop doing this or whatever. But it's different because I'm not calling myself names. But it's different because I'm not calling. But I have. But it's different. Like I've been mean to myself. But I have. I noticed in the pictures that I was gaining weight back in my life. I noticed in the pictures that I was getting the bad F word. I noticed in the pictures that I hate that. Like bad no. Don't call yourself that. Be nice. Like bad no. I've gained weight. Be nice. And I look at the picture and all of a sudden like and I look at the mind starts going and what bad words like what can you call yourself? And what bad words like what can you call yourself? And what bad words like what can you call yourself? That we talked about. Don't bully yourself. How do you shut it off? How do you turn that off? What is the key there? How do you turn that off? I've tried the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing, and that does help if I remember to do it. That does help. And I get caught up in my thoughts, and I just start going. And I get caught up in my thoughts, and I just start coming up with things in my head about being mean to myself. And I know we all do it. If you tell me that you're not, and I know we all do one mean thing to yourself. I'm questioning. And I know we all one mean thing to yourself. I'm questioning. Because we all do it. We all do it. Because we all do it. Yeah, Tony's saying every day. Dawn shaking her head. Tony's saying every day. Dawn shaking her head. Saying every day. It's hard. It's hard when we're mean to ourselves like that. So hard when we're mean to ourselves. So how do you switch that script over to continue to keep moving forward and not give up? I know one thing that helps out a lot for myself. I love the walking videos at home when it's crappy out. Like those, they're just like bubbly when it's crappy out. Like those, you know, like do this 1 mile with me. Okay, sure, let's do this. Do this 1 mile with me. Okay, I like those, and they get kind of after a while. Cause I usually like kind of after a while. I usually watch YouTube. After a while, no, thank you. It's in your mystery 5. But I like it. I switched up a couple. The dancing one, Body Groove. Yeah, that's a dancing one. Body Groove. I get you going, and you're still moving. Like that's I get you going, and you're still. But I also, you know, I get you going, and you're still. But I also anything like moving, anything. The Fitbit has been anything great one for me. It tells me when I'm not doing anything. But it also tells me doing anything too. So that makes that helps. It's like okay, Crystal. But that helps. It's like okay, Crystal. She mentioned last episode that she makes it a game. Like these things are games. So I actually feel like I do that with this. Like these things are games. You did a competition, Dawn and I did, and the prize was the salt room. The prize and that was cool. It helps with your sinuses and everything. But they have other stuff there. But I find that if it's something like that, I find that if it's something like that, we need to put another prize up there so we can do that. Put another prize up. We did. We stuck to it. We killed it in a week. We did not because it the thing was we killed it in a week. I said, Dawn, pick out how many steps you want to do a day. I'm going to pick out how many I'm going to do, and we're going to stick to it 5 days. Stick to it 5 days. If we don't get it in the 5 or the 7, we don't get the 5. If we don't get it in the 5 or the 7, we don't get the 5. I did not want to start over. And neither did she. And we did it. But since that happened, we did it. my steps. But since that happened, I haven't been doing it. But since that happened, but the prize really ultimately is our health. But the prize really that as well. Tony and I see a holistic doctor. We've been doing the same. Tony and I same kind of journey. You got the card over there. Same kind of journey. I might make him get on microphone. Same kind of journey. But we've been on the same journey with Dr. Shelson. We've been on the same journey with Dr. And it's actually from my experience. Because I can't say that it's going to work for everybody. And it's not true. We're all different. But in our experience, I guess we're all different. Is it has been helping. It has been helping a lot. So and that's possible. Like you can check that out. So and that's possible. Like you can check that out. So and that's possible. Like you can check that out. So you can check into the holistic doctor and you can check here in town or where you live. There's all kinds. You can check in. And actually, they treat a lot of people all over the world. So you're able to check in with them and you can, I think, see them over Zoom or whatever. But it has helped us a lot. I feel a lot better from that. Okay, we're good. We're all set. I've got my Fitbit tells me stuff too. You need one. I'm not sponsored by Fitbit, just saying. I just really like mine. The things that Heather loves. I just feel like doing one of those things. But so where was I at? Oh my gosh, I got distracted. This is one thing. Dr. Katie. There we go. Thank you for bringing my squirrels back in. Dr. Katie, Dr. Shelson, here in town. And Tony's got the information. I'm going to make him put on the mic. Get on the mic. Get on the mic. Then he can put it over. Too? Put the picture over to you so I can take a big drink out of my jug of tea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Matthew J. Shelson, Ph.D. He is at Shelson's Natural Health, 21 North Ulmer Street, Carroll, Michigan, 48723. You can reach him at 855-672-2600. And the lovely Dr. Katie Grummel, you can also reach her at Shelson's Natural Health at 855-672-2600.
All right. Thank you for that, Tony. It's been a cool experience through the different things that she's worked with us for our bodies because we don't have the same remedies. We don't have the same medicine. We don't have any of the same stuff. I think we had something that was kind of similar, but it's worked. So far, it's been helping out. And one of the great things about them is that you can get help. Not help, but they work with you. They can work with you because they want to be able to treat people. So that was awesome. When I got my first bill, at first I was a little like, oh, that's a bit higher than I expected it to be. Because when it's not, we don't get the medical insurance like we do for that. So that was kind of interesting. It kind of hit me at first, but then she's like, oh, we can work on it as long as you don't get over too much. They got a cap or whatever. But since then I started going, okay, this is important. It's helping me. So I started putting money aside to be able to. And it's not all the time. I see her once every 3 months now. At first it was a little bit more to figure out what was going on. But I see her, and you do too, once every 3, right?
Well, and that's the funny part about it with Dr. Katie, because I don't know the conversations that we've had with you, but she said, look, I don't want to see you because you're not sick. You're actually healthy.
I think along the lines, she said we're making progress. We're making lots of progress, so I can see you now once every 3 months, or if we need to see you more when I see you again, then we can do that. So the first initial price of it was a little bit higher, but when I think about it and trying to get everything in order, and she is working with me on the sugar addiction and trying to get me back on track with my weight loss and stuff too, because when you go to see a doctor, it sucks to be honest, but you have to be. Or you're not going to get fixed. You're not going to get help, and she listens. She's listened. And I hear great things about Dr. Shelson as well, because our other person joining the family goes and sees him. So that's really cool to hear both sides of it. So you can see him no matter where it is, wherever you're at listening on the podcast. They treat all over the world, which is very cool. And, we've had other people on from other countries, and they talk about how over there, like in the UK, holistic medicine is huge over there. And I didn't know that. I'm learning that. They talk about the tinctures, but they say it differently. And it's really cool though to hear that they do that kind of stuff. So check into that if you guys get a chance. It's helped out a lot. I feel so far the journey has been well worth it. Well worth it. So I'm thankful for that. And again, I'm not sponsored. I'm not sponsored at all, really, to be honest. But I wanted to mention that because it's part of this journey that I'm on. I'm not pushing it on you guys. I want you guys to find the doctor that's right for you, no matter what it is. We do have medical insurance, or there's people that can work with you on that. So please, 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 always find the doctor that's right for you. I'm not saying that you have to do any of that kind of stuff. It's just something that's worked for myself and has worked for Tony, and we enjoy going and seeing Dr. Katie. So please always do that. And if you feel like you are in need of medical help or a therapist or any of that, please try. I mean, I can try to help if you message me. I can try to put you in the right direction for that, and that's on Survivor Girl on Facebook. You can message there at any time. Dawn and I are admins on there. I believe Tony is as well. Somebody can help to. We can't solve the problem for you, but we can hopefully direct you in the right direction. We always talk about mental health and self love and self care being really important, because if you don't have those pieces coming together, it's really hard to get the puzzle done. So it is a lot of work. We are a lot of work. Can we say that? We're a lot of work. There's always something that we're trying to figure out daily. And I think that's part because our brains are incredible. They're always trying to solve and fix and do. And if you're continually doing too much and your brain is not able to keep up, or you're overthinking everything, which I've been there, it's hard. You have to give your brain a little bit of a break too. So that's helpful with the holistic stuff as well. And I'm finally trying to get into doing the yoga and stuff like that. And I used to give my mom so much stuff or crap for that. Yoga, elevator music, feng shui, all of those things. Like, I used to tease so bad about that, but I'm at that point. I am my mom. I have become her. She talked a lot about that, and she found peace with that kind of stuff. And for her, that was important. And when you're younger, you don't understand that stuff. I was like, ugh, Yanni again. Come on. Ugh. Can we put something else on in the car? I'm gonna fall asleep. But I find peace in that music now. I I find peace in a lot of self help books. Can we say amen to that one? Because I think everybody's buying them off the shelf. And that's okay too. Like, I don't I don't look down on anybody for trying to find out how to help themselves. I try very hard not to judge people for their journey. We were talking about that as well before the show. We are all a bunch. I feel like we're all in the dark, just bumping into each other, trying to find that glow stick to break it to see the light. That's what I feel like. If that is the weirdest analogy, I don't know, or the most unique, but that's how I feel. I feel like we are all at different parts in this journey, and just like bumping into each other, just bumping into each other, trying to find where to go and what to do for yourself. And that's hard. It's hard when you are used to being a people pleaser. Hi, my name is Heather, and that was part of my journey. I'm working so hard to not do that. It's working. I can tell you guys that it is working. So if that's something that you are constantly doing too, where are you finding the time to take care of yourself? And probably not. You're probably not. So I found I talk a lot about the trauma thing. Not finally learning how to live your life until you've had a tragic thing happen. That's big. It is so big, but we always feel like we have to keep pushing and keep moving and trying for the next thing and doing this and learn this. And I think learning is amazing at any age, to continue to keep on learning and discovering yourself, trying to figure out what your needs are. I think that's another thing that we kind of do. I have experienced in my family workaholics. I'm not going to say that I've been one. I've been there. I have worked a lot. Yeah, Dawn's raising her hand too. Workaholic Tony, yeah. That's a hard that's a slippery slope, isn't it, you guys? My season at Bronner's, I am a workaholic. I am just scooping up the overtime. If they are giving it, I'm taking it. And it's because I know that I'm only working seasonal, so I'm only there from a certain time to a certain time. After Christmas, we're slowed down, if not done, for my department. But luckily, they work with you, so you're not completely burning yourself out. They will come in and tell you if you start getting an attitude, you're going home. That's the thing. Like, it's true. And then they say it in a very nice way, but it's also like, don't burn yourself out. Is basically, they're like, don't burn yourself out for this job. And that's incredible for a worker, an employer to say something like that. So I always give huge, like, major praise to the Bronner family for the way that they run. In my department, I love it there. I don't know any other departments because I don't really work them that much, but where I work at, I love my job. So that's important, though. I mean, if you're going to burn yourself out and down into the ground and you're never experiencing anything, what are you living for? Yes, bills are important. Please don't stop paying your bills. Don't call up tomorrow and tell your job that you're quitting because I said, what are you living for? Please don't do any of that stuff. I am not trying to support any bad habits or anything like that here. But honestly, though, like, if you take a look at everything, do you love your job? Are you happy doing what you're doing? Is it making you feel joy? Is it, is there another job that you feel like you would be very happy at, but you might take a pay cut? Is there, there's different things to look at. What is going to bring you joy? What's going to make you happy? And what is going to make people shake their head and go, why is that person doing that? I kind of like those ones. I love that. I love it. The only reason I say that is because before I told you guys, before my weight loss surgery and everything, like, I used to be like, please don't look at me. Please don't, like, make a weird face because then I'm going to think that you don't like me, whatever. Tony, stop it. But now I'm just like, so what's that face for? But I don't care. Yay. No, and I only say that because we got that van. And it's a van I never knew that we needed. And it is decked out and it's green and peace signs and hippie and it's everything I never knew that I needed in a van. And we drive down the road and when we stop at stop signs or stoplights or whatever, we have people that like smile and thumb up and give us a peace sign a lot. But it's fun because I see them smiling and that makes my day. So it's funny how we can be like self-conscious about things and other people are like looking and go, wow, that's cool, but we're like, oh gosh, why did I do it that way? Why didn't I do it this way? Or why didn't I dress in this or that? And there's other people looking on the outside going, wow, that person looks like they got their shit together. But really though, we're all in our heads going, oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, I forgot to, why do we do that so much? I find, like I said, I find the brain fascinating. I find mental health fascinating, self-love, self-care, all of that stuff. And there's a book on everything. Like you can, or Google for everything. I don't recommend searching your symptoms of stuff because not good. Go to the doctor for that. I'm just saying right out of the gate, just don't do that to yourself. But, I'm kind of all over the place tonight because I'm feeling so many different things. And it's because I guess during or before the podcast when I started kind of talking about the things that I'm facing and then I've shared with you guys, it's like I have a different energy and a different feeling about it. Like I know that I can do this. I know that I can make it forward. And I think that's kind of why I'm feeling this like high from it in a way, for being honest. It's kind of strange. But I hope that you guys can feel that too by being brutally honest. Maybe you can tell somebody your truth and maybe feel that as well and feel like, okay, I already told it, like it's already out there. Now all I have to do is just move forward and make it happen. Rowing. But we have this moment. And overthinking can take away from this moment. Doubting ourselves can take away from this moment. Holding on to a grudge, not liking somebody because they've hurt you or they never said sorry or they were just brutally mean or whatever their hang up was with you, is taking away from this moment. Second guessing, not experiencing, holding back is taking away from this moment. So, we don't know how many moments that we have. I hate that. Like, I hate that. As you get older, like, that becomes more of a reality. We don't know how many minutes, how many hours, how many days, how many. And I'm not trying to be depressing about it, but just think about it. What have you been putting off that you want to do for yourself? What excuses are we continually telling ourselves because we're missing out? What are we holding ourselves back from doing? We're missing out. Or maybe you're doing it all. And if you're doing it all, congratulations. You're doing it right. You're living. You're getting out there. You're doing your thing. You may have just started your own business or something that's terrifying and you're doing it. Like, congratulations. Even though I don't know you, I'm super proud of you and I want to hear about it. Like, let's talk about it. That's cool. But if you're stuck in the moment and you're letting too much stuff get in your way, you're letting your head get in your way, you're being mean to yourself, so you're taking away, you're grumpy, you're angry, you're pissed off, you're ready to just throw some fist in the air or whatever, you're taking away. You're taking away from your sanity. You're taking away from your self-love. You're taking away from your healing because of somebody else. No. No. Stop giving. Okay, hold on. Hold on a minute. Can you send me that thing I posted earlier? Taking up rent or whatever it was. Yeah, hold on one second. I'll get to that, guys. There was a huge, like a post today that just hit me in the gut. And my first part of it says, oof, because I felt it. Like, I felt this. And I want to tell you guys this. And thank you, Dawn, for sending it over to me. Because it's kind of deep. It's pretty gut punching. And I want you guys to hear it as well. The only reason I'm asking, let's see. It's hard to switch over between the two, so. But it goes along with what I'm saying right now. It's an eye opener. Okay, no problem. Gotcha. I asked you on the spot, so. No, you're fine. You're good. You're good. But it goes along with what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, so something I'm learning, and it's hard, is that it's not my job to babysit other people's opinions about me. It's not my job to change their minds. It's not my job to defend myself or even to be offended. It's my job to stay in my lane. And somebody asked about that, like, what does that mean? What is that phrase of, it's my job to stay in my lane? I think it's just keep on moving forward. Keep your head moving forward. People are going to talk, they're going to say, they're going to wonder, they're going to judge, they're going to do everything they possibly can because they're not doing the thing that you're doing, right? Stay in your lane. And if they get in your lane, go around them. Move on. It takes me a lot sometimes to have conversations that I find are very hard to have, which is weird because this is what I do for most of my living, is I talk. But it's hard sometimes when there's confrontation that you feel is going to be a confrontation, but it ends up not being. I find that I say, like, I love to be an honest person, and I am. Like, I'm not going to be getting in your purse or taking anything from your car or any of that stuff. Like, I'm an honest person. If you drop something, I'm telling you. If you got something in your teeth, I'm telling you. If you're walking away with toilet paper hanging out your pants, I'm telling you. Whatever. Like, I find that part of me that I am super very honest about those things. But I'm not being honest when I can't have that conversation, am I? Because I'm holding back the words. And I'm not coming out and I'm not telling you, but I'm holding on to this and it's making me angry. It's hurting me. It's doing whatever. I'm not being honest, am I? We're not being honest if we're not telling our truths. Or if we're not telling somebody, hey, you hurt me. Why did you say that? What? Okay, because a lot of time when it comes out, what happens? They're dealing with something that is way more bigger than what they said to you. But are they going to tell their truth, or are they going to continue to not be honest? So it kind of goes both ways, but in the same sense, like, it's hard to have those conversations sometimes. And being somebody that is very good at thinking about what somebody's going to say before they say it, that is torture, guys. Don't do that. It's hard on you. Like, it's really hard. And it's hard. And we talked about how amazing our brains are. That's causing chaos up there. So, I guess because I'm not studying a whole lot about the brain and whatnot, but healing. When we're doing that and we're constantly worrying about other things, is that taking away from the rest of us trying to heal everything else? It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. But that's right, though. Stay in your lane. Stop worrying about what anybody else is thinking. I always say though, with the disclaimer, if you're being a jerk to other people, like maybe you should be more concerned. But also, if you're seeing somebody that is being a jerk, why? What are they doing? Like, what's affecting this? What's causing it? It's not our job to fix anybody. We can't. We can't. It's not anybody else's job to bring our happiness. They can't. The only person that can do that is ourselves. But if we see somebody that is hurting, it makes me think of the story with the lion and the mouse and the thorn or whatever. What's a thorn that's in them that is causing them to be mean, to make it look like they're being mean, or But we have to focus on us too. Like, I've found that out. Happiness, we can only bring our own happiness, our own joy. I mean, yes, like we can hang out and have fun and go have a coffee or do whatever, and that's happy. Like, that brings happiness. But I feel like the people that are in our lives that we bring joy to and they bring joy to us, that's a bonus. But we can't count on that always. We can't count on somebody always giving us our happiness. We have to figure that out for ourselves, because we then start to kind of lean a little bit. And if they're not there, then we're not leaning on that. And then what are we doing? So it's all part of that mental health. It's part of figuring out these different things. I think everybody that brings me joy and happiness, and I think everybody that understands that I've gone through pain and I've had that thorn in my finger or side or whatever, and I'm thankful that they've understand at that point in time that I was going through something, because we've all been toxic at one point and we've hurt other people at one point because we were hurting, and we've done dumb stuff because we're human, and sometimes we don't know how to fix it right away. And, sometimes we get thoughts in our heads about what we're going to do. And then we find out, oh, wait a minute, that was the wrong thing. Why am I acting this way? Because we're human. We're human. It's a freaking journey, people. Like, this is a huge journey. If you're trying to figure out what's going on up here, if you're trying to get this in order, if you're trying to heal from past trauma and move forward and continue to it's a journey. Be prepared. It's hard. It's not an easy thing, but it can be done. But when something comes up and somebody is acting out, figure out what they're, if you can see they might have a thorn too. But be kind to yourself as well. Love yourselves. Yeah, I'm looking at the time. Because I feel like that's my message. Like, even if it's not 7 yet, but I do feel like that's where I am. That's my message. And it's something I'm learning too, Obviously, I have a lot of things that I'm working through also, guys. So again, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you like I'm so much further ahead of everybody else, because I'm not. I'm so far from being ahead. But I've come much further than where I used to be. I have learned so much in these 7 years, and I'm going to continue to keep on learning these things. And I'm also learning how to let go of stuff that's not mine. It's not my business. Stop it. Let go of it, because people are going to think what they're going to think, and they're going to do what they're going to do. It's just going to be that way, you guys. Taking away from your moments. Don't waste them. Don't waste them. It's not easy. We all face, like I said, we all face everything differently. We face a lot of different things. But stop giving too much to other people that don't deserve it. And if you're one of those people that can't stay out of somebody's lane and you're continually just trying to burn it down, I got news for you. Find your thorn. Figure it out. Stop being a toxic person. Stop hurting people. Just keep moving forward, everybody. Figure your lane out, whichever it is, the slow, the fast, in the middle. Find your pace. Find your pace and stay in your lane. I'm not saying don't love people, don't care about people, Don't try to hang out with people, but do it healthy, guys. We all need our own time too. We all need our own space. If you don't call somebody right away and they're saying, "Oh, you don't call me every day. You're not messaging me like you know, come on." I had that happen. I've had that happen before in the past because I'm not very good at I am decent. I'm pretty decent at responding right away. But if I'm out like lately, again, I don't have my phone when I'm out on an adventure. I don't carry it with me because I feel like I miss out a lot because I'm constantly because the alerts and I'm not seeing this. I'm losing my moments from that. So I'm finding the healthy balance of what it is I need and what I don't need as much. So I hope that you guys can find that in this week to come. I will not wait. Will I be back on? I don't. One more week. I'm probably gonna have to do either a short live video. It might not be a full hour. Might just be me jumping on my YouTube channel or whatever because I will be down leaving the 17th. Down to Tennessee to go and bring my A game to redeem myself from the last bass tournament. I want to get out there not only just for the experience and to have fun, but I want to try to get out there and catch some fish this time. It was a bit rough last time. So I'm going to get out there, try to redeem myself, go have fun, and enjoy the ride. So I will update with you guys. And if I don't do a pre-record or maybe I'll do one from, like I said, out there that day. But I will get you guys, I'll be back on again. I will continue to keep on looking for guests to join me. I have met like a lot of people doing Dragonfly Boutique. It's been incredible because I offer memory lenses and memorial pieces of jewelry. And I have met so many people that are touching my heart. So I'm thankful for that as well. Thank you again, guys, for joining me, listening to me be a squirrel every which way this week. I appreciate you guys being patient, hanging out with me, and listening to me just talk about experiences and things of where I'm at. I appreciate that so much, so much, so much. So thank you guys again for joining me. Don't forget that you can subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff. Check out the Facebook page. Again, if you need help finding resources, please message us. Don't feel like you're alone. If I don't answer right away, one of us will answer and try to help direct you. We can't treat or prescribe or talk with you about therapy stuff or any kind of things like that, but we can hopefully help you get directed to where you need to go. So thank you guys again so much for everything. And don't forget, life is best lived.